So hi all, I hope you're doing well on today. So I'm reading this verse, and it's from Luke 10:19, and it's the healed heals. And it says, I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions, and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you. This is the Lord telling you that he's given you and I the power to trample on snakes and scorpions' heads. And to crush the enemy. Even bruised heels still crush serpents' heads. Even bruised heels. So even if you're feeling like your heel is messed up, even if you're feeling like your life is all jacked up and everything is coming down on you, you feel like life is lifing, you still have the authority to crush serpents' heads. You still have authority to tell Satan no. You have the authority over Satan because he's giving you the power. He's giving you the authority. He's giving you love and a sound mind, not a spirit of fear. You got the power to crush serpents' heads. You got the power to get Satan out of here. You could say, get thee back, Satan, and he will flee. Resist the devil and he will flee. And that is so true. And like I was reading in Luke, right? I was reading the whole chapter of Luke when the Lord sent out his disciples amongst the people. And, excuse me, the Lord sent out his disciples amongst the people. My phone was ringing. The Lord sent out his disciples amongst the people, and the Lord was telling him to the people to not take anything, to not take any money, to not take any extra clothes, no food, no anything. And when you go into these towns, and anybody who invites you into their home, bless them. But anybody who doesn't invite you into their home, take whatever blessing you got back, and keep it moving. Don't bless them. Take your blessing back and keep it moving. And he was saying, just like they said, they saw Satan fall out of heaven like a lightning. When Satan got kicked out of heaven, he flew down to the earth like lightning, and he got up out of there. And so now, he's on this earth. He's the prince of the air, so he's the one who's be trampling, he's the one who is walking in this earth. So just like the Lord blesses you abundantly, right? The Lord blesses you abundantly. Satan will too. Satan knows. Satan knows who God is. He's been in heaven. So when you're a scammer, right? You're getting a quick fix. You're getting it right here, right there, right? That's Satan's work. Because when you're working in the Lord's house, when you're working with the Lord, it takes time. It takes hard work. It takes discipline. It's not easy. Like the walk of the Lord was not easy. And then if you're following the Lord, if you're taking up your cross and you're following the Lord, your walk is not going to be easy neither. And it's going to be hard. But at the end, if you endure, if you don't give up, you're going to reap the harvest that God has for you. It's a big, gigantic harvest. But a lot of people want the easy route. And the easy route is Satan's way. Satan's going to tantalize you and dangle those things in your face, those gifts and all that stuff. He's going to make you think that you got a reward. He's going to give you everything, the fast life, the fast cars, the girls, this, that, and other. If that's your life, and then guess what? All that ends quickly. You might get it quickly, but it ends quickly. And then there's also a consequence. Like when you're doing that, and you're scamming and you're out here running your life and you don't have a light relationship with God, whatever quick fixes you are trying to get, you're going to get them. They're going to happen fast, but they're going to be quickly taken away. But the thing about God is it may take longer in doing so because, there's a lesson also to be learned and discipline and all these things that you need to have to be mature and lacking nothing, right? But God's gifts that he gives you, they're lasting. They don't happen overnight and then they don't disappear the next day. They last. And that's the difference between the Lord and the Lord's blessing and Satan's. Satan will do the same things that the Lord do. He'll make you think that it's the Lord. But if you don't know God, then you may get tricked and sucked up into his trap. That's why you have to have a relationship with the Lord, because sometimes Satan will give you what you want too. But you got to know the difference between if it's God's or Satan. And, and I say that because, listen, over this Tuesday, I had a big, dilemma. Oh my goodness. So I was on my way. I took my son to college. I had to drop him off. He had to return back to school. His vacation's over. And so that's like a 2-hour drive. So on my way back, I was like a half an hour from home. And then I got pulled over because, you know, I have a rejection sticker on my car, you know, because I have my bumper hasn't been fixed. So I haven't been able to find anybody to fix this bumper. And I'm not paying $1,500 to $2,000 or more for this bumper to get fixed. I just ain't doing it. So, and plus, where am I going to get $2,000 for to fix this bumper, right? So, I'm just keeping it real, right? So, anyways, I get pulled over and I'm like, oh my goodness. So, the officer was, you know, he was calm, he was cool about it. But I was about to go off on him because, you know, I have trauma. You know, I've had some, you know, problems with the, you know, popo. And I despise them like greatly. I don't care if it's a good cop or bad cop. I don't care. I don't like them because of the trauma, the trauma that I've endured from them, you know, and that's another story. But so he's getting all my information or whatever. And then next thing you know, he's like, well, I'm going to have to, you know, tow your car because all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And these things I was unaware of. So I was like, okay, cool. So I was like, dang. He was like, so I'm going to call a tow truck. And after I call the tow truck, you know, you can either go with the tow guy, you know, to the tow truck, to the tow place and, you know, get a ride from there. Or you could call somebody and if they come before the tow truck comes, you can go with them. And so I was like, okay. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So I didn't have anybody to call. The only person I could think of to call, you know, was my son, my oldest son. So I called him. Thankfully, he answered. And then, so, you know, he was like, oh, I can come get you. I can come and get you because, you know, he had a rental. So I said, okay, cool. So I go with the driver to the, you know, tow place. And I'm waiting for my son. And I'm talking to the people there. And they're trying to help me out with my situation. And I'm like, you know what? I got to do a whole lot of other stuff that I just rather take care of it when I get home because it's just too much. And I'm tired. It's cold out here. I was freezing. You know, I was literally on my way to work. I had groceries in the car and everything because I went food shopping so I could make sure my son was stacked up for school when he was returning back. So, and I went a little grocery shopping for myself. So I had all these things. And I'm sitting there and I'm just waiting. My son came and then we got, you know, we get my things in the car. And then we drive. So I'm figuring out, you know, I'm calling all these places to try to get a tow, whatever, and everything like that. And then I finally found this person. And he was cool, you know. He was like, you know what? It costs this much, but I can get it to you for a discount price if you need. And I was like, well, yes, I definitely need it. You know what I'm saying? Give me that discount. So he was so well in giving me the discount. And I was like, it was a whopping great discount. It was the less than everybody else's. So, you know, I was like, thank you. So I'm hustling and bustling. I'm asking everybody, do they got AAA before that? And nobody had AAA. Like, I was like, wow, it's amazing to me that a lot of folks don't have AAA. So I was like, But anyways, God blessed the doors to be where I got a discount. And I was able to get the car home and stuff like that or whatever. It took all day. I couldn't go to work. I was headachy. I was freaking hungry, cold. I was just lethargic. It literally drained me. It took a lot out of me. And before that, I was like, well, because it was costing too much. It was getting costly by the minute. Not having AAA, not having nobody I can have that owns a tow company that could do it for me for, you know, less price or whatever. None of that. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to let them take the car. I was like, it's $35 a day if you keep it in there. I was going to let them take the car. I was like, I'm just going to let them take the car. I was okay. I honestly made peace with it. I was like, well, I don't have all this money that they're asking for. I'm just going to let them take it because I'm not breaking my neck. I'm not trying to go out, bend over backwards. I don't have relationships with many people. I didn't have anybody, like not anybody I can go and ask, you know. And I was like, I was willing to like, listen, if it's going to be taken from me, it's going to be taken. So I was willing to let it go. I was not even trying to hear it. I was like, whatever. I really was. I wasn't mad. I wasn't angry. I wasn't cursing God out. I wasn't, you know, cursing anything out. I honestly made peace with it. I was like, well, if it's for me, it's gonna be for me. And if it's not, oh well. And I honestly left it at that. And my son was like, no, don't think like that. It's all going to work out. We got this. You're going to get it. It's going to work out. We got this. And I was like, okay. And I was just sitting there. And the next thing you know, the blessing, God sent the blessing to my life. He blessed the doors to me where everything worked out well. I was able to get it out. The people closed at 4. It was like 3 something. I'm like, oh my goodness. But I was like, again, if it's for me, it's going to be for me. I ain't worried about it. I'm not letting this stress me out. I just wanted to get home safely so I can daggone relax. I got home. I waited. It worked out well. The guy was so cool. The tow guy, he was so cool. He was real laid back, cool, and everything, you know. The people, you know, were good to me at the tow place. Even the cop, the police officer, he was actually cool too. He was doing all the talking. He was explaining to me. He walked me to the thing. He helped me get in the car. He was being such, you know, a really, you know, decent human being. And I was like, you know, and as much as I don't like them, I was not even giving him a hard time, because I usually give them a hard time. I can't lie. But I was like, I'm not doing that because I ain't trying to go to jail. But I was like, it ain't worth it. He's doing his job. And so I was like, whatever. But I got my car home. I got it back safe and sound or whatever. And then I was left with $6 to my name. I said, well, thank God. I am so grateful. I don't care. I don't care, because listen, like it says, he gives us authority to trample on serpents and scorpions' heads. And then nothing will harm you. I got home safe. I got home sound. My son was with me. You know, he stayed until everything was final and everything. We talked, we laughed or whatever, you know. And it was like, you know, I might have been tired. I might have been exhausted. I might have had a long day. I might have used up all my money. And then, you know, I'm like, oh my goodness, my birthday's freaking Saturday. And I had so many plans, and I had all these things lined up, and everything was going so smoothly up until that point. And my world got a little bit disrupted a little bit. It got a little bit, and I can't lie. This was the first time probably ever in my life that I was calm, cool, and collected. That I honestly, and then when I was going through it, and before, when he was sitting in his car and I was sitting in my car waiting for the tow, I was all like, thank you, Lord. I was like, I count it all joy. I was all like, you know, I'm grateful. I was all like, I'm not going to be upset. I was like, I'm not going to be sad. I said, I know you got bigger plans for me. I said, I trust your will. I said, thank you for covering me. I said, as long as I get home, I'm okay. I said, if the car gets taken, it's in your will for it to get taken. Only you know what's best for me. I just started talking to God. I started talking to the Lord, and I was just like, yep. I was like, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. I said, I know you got me. I said, and whatever the outcome is the outcome. I ain't worried about it. And I sat in peace. I literally did. That was the first time ever that I was really just so calm and cool and collected. Like I said, I used to be going off. I used to be giving them a hard time, but I didn't do that. You know, I was just like, listen, I'm good. I am not about to give the enemy, you know, because the enemy wanted me to be afraid. He wanted me to be frustrated. He wanted me to panic. He wanted me to doubt God. He wanted me to curse God. He wanted me to just give up and throw in the towel. And I didn't. I held on. And I was just like, I'm good. And literally, I got home. My son made it to school safely. He didn't have to experience any of that. I got home safely. You know, my car back with me. I'm able to go back out in the world and do what I got to do. And it's just a matter of me finding somebody who could fix the bumper, you know, which I've been doing for months now. And I don't know nobody. I don't know no you know, handymans, no side mechanics, and none of that stuff. Everybody's like, oh, it's gonna cost you this. Everybody. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing all that. And so I'm not doing all that. I'm not worried about it. Whatever happens. It's in God's hands. But life was life, and life had me stressed out. And I was just like, nah, I'm not giving in. And then as I'm reading this today, and I'm like, yep, I stumbled on that serpent's head. I said, get thee back, Satan. No, you will not have my joy. I said, I will not let this circumstance take away my joy or steal my peace. I was really at peace. Like literally, I cannot lie. I was at peace. I'm still at peace. I am still at peace. I ain't worried about it. I know God got me. And I'm excited actually. I can't wait to see what God got in store for me. Like I literally can't. You know, and so like I'm just like letting you guys know, like, listen, that was a hard day. The whole day. It started off so beautifully, peaceful and well. And even throughout my storm, even throughout the midst of this situation, I still had peace because I was not giving it to Satan. I was like, oh no, I'm not going to let this, take my peace. I said, I count this all joy. I said, I count it all joy. I will not let this take my peace. I will not let it steal my joy. I will not let it make me afraid. God got me. And that's exactly what I said. And I was at peace from the time I got to the place to the time I got home. And then when I got home, I rested. I prayed to the Lord. I praised his name. I took me a shower. I ate some fruit. And I read some more of his word. And then I went to sleep. And I had a great, rested night's sleep. I woke up refreshed. I woke up actually the next day. I woke up exhausted because like I didn't realize it took a lot of out of me. But I was able to rest. I took that day off from everything. And I literally rested. And I praised the Lord's name the whole day. And I just read his word all day. And I just thanked him. And I just sat in peace. And rested. Because it says that the Lord will give you rest. My burden is light and my yoke is easy. And I will give you rest. And that's what the Lord did. He gave me rest. And I took the light burden and the easy yoke, and I rested. And I say that to say this. Listen, any of your trials and tribulations, do not give in to the enemy. It tells us right here. We have the authority. Use your authority. You have it. I have it. We all have it. Use your authority. And again, nothing will harm you. No harm, hurt, and endangerment will come to you. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. They're going to form, but they're not going to prosper. And that's exactly what happened. The weapon formed, but it didn't prosper. Because I didn't get harmed, hurt, or anything. I had peace, actually. And I was actually proud of myself. I was amazed. I was like, oh, shoot. This was been a long time that like this was really, taxing on me. But I did it. And especially having to deal with, number 12. Like, what? I don't like them at all from trauma, from childhood, and a few other incidences that I've had. And knowing the reputation that they have, and I was calm. I didn't let them move me out of my peace. I didn't even let the circumstance move me out of my peace. I was freaking stressed out. I was troubled at first. But then I was like, I'm not giving in to that. And then I spoke peace into my life. And I was so calm and cool and collected. You would have thought nothing was wrong with me. Because it wasn't. Because it was in God's hands. I left it there. And I really trusted him. And he worked it all out. He really did. He really did. And that's what we got to do. Give it to him and he will work it out. He is in the midst. He's there with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you. He will not abandon you. He will not let you suffer. But you got to believe. It all comes down because believing pleases him. So because I believed and then I spoke life into my life. I said, no, I count it all joy. And I didn't let this get to me. Oh, no, I didn't. I was like, you're not getting me, Satan. I didn't have time to give him that power. That power is mine. It's mine. And I took my power and I used it. And I came out victorious. Because I am victorious. I am more than a conqueror. I overcame that. And now I'm about to go on about my day and have a great day. And I hope and pray you have a great day. And I hope and pray you are blessed on today. And I hope and pray that whatever your situation is, your circumstances is, if you got anything going on with you, with your health, your finances, your life, your circumstances, your job, your children, your husband, your girlfriend, your wife, whomever, whatever, just give it to God and have a joyful day. Rest, and He will give you peace. Listen, you got to be calm in the midst of the storm. You have to be calm in the midst of the storm. So I pray that whatever storm you're going through, take your authority back. Seek God's face and be calm. Because the weapons, they may form, but they will not prosper. And if this story resonated with you, give me a like, comment, share, subscribe, and I hope you have the most blessed, amazingest day ever. Because I know I will. So until next time, thank you for listening.